Hi, it's Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary. I hope you're very well. Very quickly, I'll be today very brief. Just having a look at the the S&P and the stock market indices again. Obviously, they've had a nice drop off last week after them having that nice move up and looking like they wanted to break new highs. Remember, the Russell 2000 had broken some new highs and is still holding up very well. But then the likes of the S&P and the Dow have backed off last week. So now the Dow's come down and actually has penetrated this low, but it's effectively at the moment done a double bottom and it's rallying today. The futures are up this morning, but the S&P hasn't broken that low. And so although we've rolled over, I think we've still got to be a little bit careful as to whether we are going to follow through. I think if the S&P comes down and does breach this low, then it's definitely game on. So at the moment, I'm just being that little bit cautious to the downside because of the differences between the indices and the Russell holding up. But certainly, I think if the broader S&P 500, broader than the Dow, that is, was to break down below this low, then we could have a pretty decent sell-off. So if I actually bring up an old trend channel that I've got from the lows of 2009, as you can see down here, we've been in this trend channel for a long time, and we are potentially, if I take this is on a weekly chart at the moment, potentially the market may want to come back down to this lower trend line, and if it then breaks that lower trend line, which I suspect if it did come down again and it breaks, I suspect that we've got a bigger move down, a bit lower, which I've seen on the Dow futures, which would give us about 1,000 Dow points to the downside if it breaks. So the potential is there. It is just potential, but the potential is there. That's only if we break down, though. So let's take this back to the daily charts. At the moment, I'm a little bit suspicious that this is just a bit of a sell-off, and we're going to gradually work our way back up and then try and break out again. So I'm suspicious of that. Now, so what's the plan? Right, if the S&P breaks this low, then I've got to be looking for aggressive, looking for on the short side. If, however, the S&P gradually over the next week or two, they start, they'll probably be choppy, but coming back up and they'll get the 8 and 21 cross to the upside again, confirming that they may want to break, then I'll be looking for breakouts to the upside on these stock market indices. That's if that happens. So they've got a lot of work to do at the moment. Like I said, the futures are up this morning, so the markets are already back up higher than where this is showing. And so, because this is the cash market. But so if we can gradually over the next week or so get back above this daily 21 MA, then I will be looking at long side plays for the breakout to go long. Having said that, if we roll over and we break down, then I think there's a potential 1,000-point drop in the markets. So we're in a little bit of no man's land at the moment, but we're going to find out fairly soon, one way or another, which way this is going to break. Right, I shall leave it at that for now then, and be back on a Friday for live trading.